Good morning. This is Chad, Chiefs Chat with the guys. So, we beat the Raiders 31 to nothing. Hey, look, can't get a big head on our shoulders. We've got to keep stacking wins. Okay? So, next time we play the Raiders, I expect to beat them, but I don't think the outcome will be the same. I think the score will be different. They will learn, and we'll have to adjust to how they play. So that, Rashid Wright's coming back. That was awesome. See him back. I still think that Mahomes had one series where he threw passes that could have been intercepted. He still has to improve and wake up and not throw those type of passes. I don't think we would have, even if they would have intercepted, I don't think we would have lost the game. It's just a point of, what if we were playing a higher caliber team, like the Jaguars, and throw it down there? It's always at the same area, down in the red zone. So he has to improve on that. Other than that, the game was, everything went our way. The defense was, I'd say the defense, A+. I know that, Raiders had a lot of hurt players, but we've had a lot of hurt players too this year. So it's just it's next man up, man. That's, during the Super Bowl, we had an offensive line. We lost. That still counts as a loss. So you have to improve your team if that's the case. In the case for us, we had to improve our offensive line, and now they're protecting Mahomes, and now we're scoring some points here. I don't like the fact that that Lions fans are still whining and crying. Hey, here's the basic thing: we kick your ass, plain and simple. And your players got frustrated, so they start swinging punches. And I'm not saying your team is not a good team; they are a good team. Because if we end up in a Super Bowl, and we play them. That I think it's gonna be a good game. I still think we'll win, but to come out and say it's always refs this, refs that. If that makes you feel better and makes you sleep at night, I'm done hearing it, and I'm not listening to you. I'm enjoying the win. You can enjoy your L. So back to the Raiders. I don't know what happened in their organization, man. Of course, I want us to beat them, but I like them be, I don't know. Like, there's certain things I like about the Raiders. I like their stadium. Ooh. I like Max Crosby. I don't know. Are they going to trade that guy? That poor guy deserves to be on a better team. Anyways, so I said A+ for the defense. Special teams didn't make any mistakes. So the A+ there. I won't give, just because of that one series. I'm kind of hard on that because that can come back and bite us. Patrick doesn't wake up and do something about reading the linebackers. Something about the linebackers. I give him an A. It'll be, if they keep scoring the points they are, it'd be good. And who knows how many points they could have scored if they didn't take him out before the fourth quarter. I think everybody's going, well, why did he, not put the hammer down and, leave Patrick out there? I think he has the utmost respect for Pete Carroll. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think, they weren't going to come back from that with 2 minutes left or whatever. They were just trying to burn the clock in the fourth quarter just by handing the ball off over and over. I was kind of frustrated with it because I would think that you would at least try to get a first down. As the more first downs you get, the more time you take off the clock, of course. So I would at least try to do that, but I'm not the coach. It turned out with a win. So I think, too, that the team, there's a lot of teams in the NFC right now that are really good. The Eagles are not a shoo-in to go to the Super Bowl. They can, but you got all these teams that, like the Rams that played them, and the Rams could have won that game, not for a blocked field goal. The Chiefs, they're not NFC, but there's a lot of teams that, one play will beat them. So it's not like the Eagles will dominate anybody, It's not like that. But, then you got the Lions, you got the Rams, you have the 49ers. The Cowboys are kind of hard to read because their offense is good, but their defense gives up a lot of points. But hey, they're still dangerous. In the AFC, you have the surprise of the surprise. Number one rated team right now is Indianapolis. Everybody, the bets are saying that Chiefs will be back in the Super Bowl. I'm not disagreeing, but here's the thing. I'm not going to say a word until we're in the pictures. Like, if the season was to end today, who would be in the playoffs? Chiefs are not even there yet. So they guys still have to prove themselves and get in the playoffs. They got to stack wins. So, with that being said, the top three, I'm just going to do the top three. Usually I do the top six. I'm just going to do the top three of the AFC. Colts. I'm going to go Bills. I hate to say this, the Denver Broncos, they got a little lucky. I think that was more of a Giants joke. But sometimes that's all it takes is to get you in. I mean, I remember the Chiefs got some games in that were the bounces went their way and they got in the Super Bowl. So even though I think the Giants should have won, so those are your top three right now. However, I'm just talking about statistics and wins and losses. But I know there's other teams like Kansas City that they're outside looking in, and they get in. I think they're the most dangerous team. Indianapolis, most complete team right now. I don't think they're the most talented team. I think they're the most complete team. So, in a month from now, we'll see where the Chiefs are at. When we play the Colts, that will be very interesting. I would look. I got family from Indianapolis, so I'm kind of going for them as far as because they've been. Well, ever since Andrew Luck has left, they haven't had good teams. Now they finally have a good team. But I'm going, my team's still better. The Chiefs are still better. But the record doesn't show that right now. So, while the record doesn't show that right now, I told one of my family members that we're about ready to flip a switch here. So, with saying that, NFC, 3 teams. I want to say Lions, Eagles, and this can be switched again week to week. The third one, Lions, Eagles, Rams. I think Rams are going to be dangerous in the playoffs. They could knock off either one of those teams. But there's other teams in there. So now we're going to talk about Washington. The Chiefs play Washington. Is Daniels playing or is Mariota playing? Either way, Mariota plays. Listen to me, Spags. Listen to me. If they start pulling this bull crap about running the quarterback, Lee Chanel needs to be your spy and not let him do what Ichabod Crane of the Jaguars did. Can't let the Jaguars, Ichabod Crane, run on you like that next time you play him if you see him in the playoffs. It's ridiculous. Herbert's not a really running quarterback. You can put a spy on him. Those are the teams that really hurt you a lot, was those teams. And you still were in the game until the end. So if you adjust to it, you're good. So Mariota, or Daniels can run. So you have to adjust to that. Can't take him lightly. But I will say, I can see us winning more in double digits by 2 scores. Every game we've won by double scores. So this stupid saying by all the haters, by the Chiefs haters, hey, it's the referees. That's getting old and that's getting childish. And that's ruining what the NFL is. Because we all can sit here, every one of us from every team, whoever you play, it doesn't matter. I thought that was a first down that the Buccaneers got last night. They got screwed out of that. Also, now I can say that the referees helped the Lions, poor little baby Lions that were crying, even the players, that they helped you beat the Buccaneers. Yeah, it's the referees every time. These organizations that have never won a Super Bowl. That's why at first I was like, if the Chiefs don't win a Super Bowl, I hope the Lions. Well, no, I don't wish that anymore. I wish he never won a Super Bowl. Crying, crybaby bitches. That's what you are. Now, not all fans are like that, but you sure make a reason for you to go, hey, who is the top team fans that cry the most? And I'd rank it like this: Lions fans, Eagles fans, 49ers fans. Top 3. Talk about poor little, us, the referees. Now, here's what I find interesting, though. Now you're getting people from the Patriots, whether it's players or fans, talking about the referees. Really? You are talking about the referees. When I seen your team get away with more calls, when Patrick Mahomes went to AFC Championship game, the Phantom roughing the passer call that would have won the game for us, you were going to go out, we would have went down and scored 14-point swing. Anytime from the Patriots say that the refs help the Chiefs, I just laugh. I think it's so funny. Anyways, I'm going to get off that subject because that's all people talk about. Instead of, hey, when I watch other teams play besides my team, when I watch football, I like to be able to say, hey, that's a great play. I like the NFL a lot, so I just won't watch my team. I'll watch the Colts play. I'll watch the Chargers play. I'll watch other teams play. And, of course, I'll root for a certain team. But if I see a bad call, I'll call it. But I'd rather sit there and say, that was a great play by that player. But now, with social media, it's not like that anymore. It's all about the refs. And so, do the refs make mistakes? Hell yeah, they do. But not just for one team. They do it for all teams. I've seen so many calls where, you know, I can call holding call, they're holding Chris Jones or they're holding Travis Kelce. Moving on. Keys to winning a game. Again, protecting Patrick Mahomes on offense is the biggest one. If he has time, he's going to hit his receivers. He's got a lot of receivers that he can hit and they make plays. The running game, run the ball to keep them honest. And I'm telling you, they may not be breaking 50-yard runs, but as long as they're moving the chains, getting first downs, getting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yards of carry, you know, sometimes you're gonna get blown up at the line of scrimmage. That's okay. As long as you're doing that, you're keeping your passing game going. So, offensively, protect Mahomes, give him time, be able to run the ball and get first downs. That's how this team works because it's a pass offense first. Also, Patrick, number 3, has got to give them less opportunities to get interceptions. It worked out for him this week. They kicked ass this week and got away with some. But for about 90% of the game, he was clean. Number 2, are onto the defense. Again, I'm still worried about their pass, their rushing the quarterback, getting pressure on the quarterback, hitting the quarterback. They need to improve on that. If there's anything that they need to improve on, it's hitting the quarterback. Their secondary is pretty damn good. I think they're going to have to go out and get a defensive tackle somewhere because, one of our players got hurt. Our rookie player got hurt on defensive tackle, so he's out for the year. So that's going to have to change. I don't know what they're going to trade or what they're going to do. Find somebody on waivers. Going to have to do something about that because now after this game, here's the deal: if they lose this game, then it's going to be really an issue. Because you got Buffalo, you got Indianapolis, you got those 2 teams coming up. You got to win this game. You have to. So, special teams, on to them. Bucker didn't have to do a lot of field goals. He didn't miss anything, any extra points. So there's a little improvement there. I think that's great. So my final prediction here is, I think 38-10. I think that's where Chiefs. They score close to 40 and hold them to 10 points. I don't expect a shutout. That's very rare. I don't care how good a team is or not. If they do, well, that's kind of cool, but I don't expect it. But if you can hold them down under 14 points or around 14 points, back-to-back games, then you have something going there. So in the comments, give me a prediction of the game. Do you think it's going to win? Do you think we're going to trade for a defensive tackle or a pass rusher? Okay. subscribe, like, join us on our YouTube station here. Subscribe. That'd be great. I'll be making another video after this game. I will have my top five teams of AFC and NFC. I want to go down to top 5 now, and after it shapes out, and again, top 5 for me right now. The Chiefs are just record-wise, they're not in it, but the way they're playing, they're in the top 5. But again, we got a stack of win, and after that, we'll see who's in the top 5. I'll see you next week. I may have a special video if there's any special things that come up. Again, subscribe, like. I'll see you next time. Go Chiefs.